with Norman. There has been a rift alongside Donald Trump and the Supreme Courts. There has been sweeping presidential authority in independent regulators. That is one of those issues. Liberal justices find conservative allies, much to Trump's dismay, as well as other issues such as Trump's defamation appeal quietly flopping around. I want to ask Norman a very simple question. We are only weeks away from the midterm election, and we also know that the Israeli government has also dissolved the Knesset government, the Knesset parliament. But coming back, focusing the relationship between the Supreme Court and U.S. President Donald Trump. What do you have to say? We've seen past presidents of the United States meeting up at a very popular presidential center opening. You were there in the attendance as well. That actually shows a very inclusive community of previous leaders. They do not see the dismay of the U.S. As a nation, but they only come to the table for the collective ideology. Of course, Donald Trump wasn't in attendance, and this is why I want to ask you this recent rift between the Supreme Court and, of course, POTUS, the President of the United States of America. Norman, how are you seeing these issues?
Your question is one that brings a lot of um, energy to the point that uh, as we see the Trump administration explain itself or describe itself or what they want to do, the elected officials uh, are responding to what the people are saying. The people are not very happy with the way the current administration is doing and running business. The Supreme Court is is supposed to be the guiding hand, the group of wise of officials to help leverage and govern the Constitution. Even though a large amount of these judges are appointed by the current president, they are still professionals. They still see and evaluate world events, what's going on, the mood of the country. Their only allegiance is to the Constitution, not to the president. Even though it points that it may appears that they side with him, but basically it's the Constitution. So as we move forward, you're going to see the gap, the separation from their relationship. There's assumption that the Trump administration will get favors by the Supreme Court. However, the Supreme Court and the oath that they take, the judges, the Supreme Court, they are more focused on the future of America, where we're going, and based on the temperament of the people and how the trends in the world are moving. So you're going to see a lot of separation between now and the midterms, and even after that, as we move forward. Judges are going to basically have to evaluate exactly, does it fit? Does it move? Does it increase? Does it enhance the growth of the United States? And does it protect the principle? Particularly now when the 250-year experiment is now being tested again. So the judges are now is going to basically they said not change that way. They're going to go back to what they know and what they feel is necessary for the future. And it may not be what the president and administration wishes. And that will be a conflict that is something you have to deal with. Uh, right is right, wrong is wrong at the end of the day. So, yes, we can make a lot of changes. There will be a lot of short-term victories, but the overall victory, the overall thing is basically the people will and the Constitution. So I sense that the judges are now coming to terms that they have a duty and they will uphold that duty in the Constitution. And the United States will have to adjust to this battle between the courts and the current administration. But in the end, it will all work out. It will balance out. The current administration will have to adjust to the rules of the land and also the rules of the world. Like I said, we're in a multipolar world, and you have to recognize that you can't stay in a vacuum and assume that your way is the only way. We have to understand that if you don't evolve, you will dissolve.